Welcome to Global English. This is an English learning channel. This video provides useful vocabulary words and related examples. Bracelet.
手链
A piece of jewelry worn around the wrist. She wore a gold bracelet on her wrist. He gave her a diamond bracelet for her birthday. The bracelet was too tight and left a mark on her skin. Brain.
头脑
The organ inside the head that controls thought and feeling. The brain is a vital organ. She has a sharp brain. His brain works quickly. Brake.
刹车
A device used to slow down or stop a moving vehicle. Slash brake means to make a vehicle slow down or stop by pressing the brake pedal. He slammed on the brake, but it was too late. She applied the brake gently to avoid skidding. The driver had to brake suddenly to avoid hitting the pedestrian. Branch.
分支
A part of a tree that grows out from the trunk. The bird perched on a branch. This is a branch of the main office. The river has many branches. Brand.
品牌
A particular type or make of product, especially one that is well known. To build brand image. The company launched a new brand of perfume. She recognized the brand by its distinctive packaging. He wanted to brand his business as environmentally friendly. Brand new.
全新的
Completely new, especially not yet used. She received a brand new laptop for her birthday. They moved into a brand new apartment building. The shop sells brand new and used books. Brass.
黄铜
A yellow alloy of copper and zinc. The soldiers wore brass buttons on their uniforms. He played the brass section in the orchestra. The brass instruments gleamed in the sunlight. Brave.
勇敢的
Having or showing courage. She is a brave soldier. He made a brave decision. They made a brave attempt. Bravery.
勇敢
Courageous behavior or character. The firefighter's bravery was recognized by the community. She admired his bravery in speaking out against injustice. He was awarded a medal for his bravery in battle. Brawl.
斗殴
A noisy fight in a crowd. The brawl broke out at the bar. They were involved in a brawl. The brawl was stopped by the police. Breath.
呼吸
The air taken into or expelled from the lungs. She took a deep breath before jumping into the water. The doctor listened to her breath with a stethoscope. She felt a breath of wind on her face. Breathe.
呼吸
To take air into the lungs and then expel it. She tried to breathe slowly to calm down. He couldn't breathe underwater without scuba gear. The doctor instructed her to breathe slowly and deeply. Breather.
休息
A short rest or break. She took a breather after working hard. Let's take a breather before continuing. He needed a breather from the stress. Breathless.
喘不过气的
Unable to breathe easily. She was breathless after the run. He spoke in a breathless voice. The climb left him breathless. Breed.
品种饲养
A particular type or group of animals or plants. To keep animals and produce young animals in a controlled way. Labrador retrievers are a popular dog breed. He breeds horses on his farm. The cat breed has distinctive markings. Breeze.
微风
A gentle wind. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves. She enjoyed the cool breeze on her face. The curtains fluttered in the breeze. Bribe.
贿赂
Money or a favor given or promised in order to influence the judgment or conduct of someone in a position of trust. He was accused of accepting a bribe. She offered him a bribe to keep quiet. He was arrested for attempting to bribe a police officer. Brickyard.
砖厂
A place where bricks are made. He works at a brickyard. The brickyard produces thousands of bricks. They visited the old brickyard. Bride.
新娘，
A woman who is about to be married or has recently married. The bride looked stunning in her wedding dress. The bride and her bridesmaids posed for photos. The bride threw her bouquet to the single women. Bridegroom.
新郎，
A man who is about to be married or has recently married. The bridegroom smiled proudly as he stood beside his bride. The bridegroom thanked everyone for coming to the wedding. The bridegroom had a big smile as he danced with his new wife. Briefcase.
公事包，
A flat, rectangular case with a handle, used for carrying books, documents, or other items. The businessman opened his briefcase to show the contract. She grabbed her briefcase and headed to the meeting. He kept his important documents in his briefcase. Brilliant.
傑出的，明亮的，
Exceptionally clever or talented. The painting was a brilliant example of Impressionism. The brilliant colors of the flowers lit up the garden. The scientist made a brilliant discovery. Brim.
邊緣，
The top edge of a container. The cup was filled to the brim. He wore a hat with a wide brim. His enthusiasm was filled to the brim. Broke.
身无分文的，
Having completely run out of money. He's broke because he spent all his money on clothes. They were broke after the unexpected expenses. They went broke after the business failed. Brook.
小溪，
A small stream. We sat by the brook and listened to the water babble. We followed the brook as it wound through the meadow. The brook was a favorite spot for fishing. Broom.
扫帚，
A long-handled brush of bristles, used for sweeping. He used a broom to sweep the dirt out of the garage. The broom was propped up against the wall. She swept the kitchen floor with a scrub broom. Brownie.
布朗尼，果仁巧克力蛋糕，
A small, square chocolate cake frequently adorned with nuts. He loved to eat warm brownies with vanilla ice cream. She baked a batch of chocolate brownies. The brownie recipe called for nuts and chocolate chips. Browse.
浏览，
To look through a book, magazine, etc., casually or at random. She browsed through the book looking for her favorite passage. They browsed the farmer's market for fresh produce. He browsed the internet for information. Brutal.
残酷的，凶残的，
Cruel and violent. The victim's family called for justice for the brutal crime. She suffered brutal abuse at the hands of her captors. The prisoners were subjected to brutal treatment. Bubble.
泡泡，
A thin sphere of liquid enclosing air or another gas. The bubble burst when the economic downturn hit. He felt like he was living in a bubble. The children blew bubbles with soap and water. Bud.
芽，蓓蕾，
A tiny plant part that grows into a flower or leaf. The flowers were just buds when she planted them. The buds on the trees signaled the beginning of spring. He watched the bud of the plant every day. Budget.
预算，
An estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. The government announced its annual budget. They created a budget for their monthly expenses. She managed the household budget. Buffalo.
水牛，
A large, heavily built wild ox with horns and a shaggy mane native to the plains of Africa and Asia. The buffalo population was decimated by hunting. The buffalo were an important part of the ecosystem. The buffalo herds migrated with the seasons. Bull.
公牛，
The male of any animal in the cow family is called a bull. The bull had a thick neck and powerful legs. The bull was aggressive and dangerous. The bull bellowed loudly. Bulldog.
斗牛犬，
A sturdy, thick-set dog with a wrinkled face and a pushed-in nose. The bulldog chased after the ball. They have a bulldog as a family pet. In the park, a bulldog plays with the children, creating a heartwarming scene. Bulldoze.
推倒
To demolish with a bulldozer. They bulldozed the old building to make way for a new development. The construction crew bulldozed the site for the new factory. They bulldozed the snow off the road. Bulldozer.
推土机
A bulldozer is a large, powerful machine with a big blade at the front. The bulldozer cleared a path through the rubble. They used a bulldozer to clear the land for farming. The bulldozer leveled the ground for construction. Bullet.
子弹
A projectile, propelled from a gun. The soldier loaded his gun with bullets. The detective examined the bullet casings. She narrowly avoided being hit by a stray bullet. Bulletin.
公告通知
A brief official statement or account of news. The daily bulletin provided updates on the situation. The bulletin was posted in multiple languages. The bulletin contained important information for residents. Bullfight.
斗牛比赛
A public spectacle of bullfighting. They watched a traditional bullfight in Spain. The bullfight took place in the arena. The bullfight was criticized by animal rights activists. Bullfrog. 牛蛙 A large, stocky frog with a deep, resonant croak. The bullfrog croaked loudly in the pond. They heard the sound of a bullfrog in the distance. The bullfrog leaped into the water. Bullhorn.
扩音器
A loudspeaker with a built-in microphone makes announcements to large crowds. She spoke into the bullhorn to be heard over the noise. The crowd cheered in response to the bullhorn announcement. They heard the warning through the bullhorn. Bullion.
金块银块
Gold or silver in bulk before coining, or valued by weight. The vault contained stacks of bullion. They invested in bullion as a hedge against inflation. The bullion was stored in a secure location. Bummer. 令人沮丧的事，糟糕的事. Something that is a disappointment or is frustrating. It was a bummer when the concert was cancelled. Losing my wallet was a real bummer. It's a bummer that the weather ruined our plans. Bump.
碰撞突快
A light blow or a jolting collision. He felt a bump as the car hit the curb. She got a bump on her head from the fall. The car hit a bump in the road. Bunch.
一束一群
A group of things of the same kind that are held or tied together. She picked a bunch of flowers from the garden. He brought her a bunch of her favorite candy. There was a bunch of bananas on the table. Burden.
负担重担
A load, typically a heavy one. The burden of responsibility weighed heavily on him. She felt the burden of caring for her sick mother. The mountain climbers were burdened with heavy packs. Bureau.
局属办公处
A government department or agency. She works for the Bureau of Statistics. He filed a complaint with the Bureau of Consumer Protection. The Bureau of Investigation is handling the case. Burglar.
窃贼
A person who commits burglary. The burglar broke into the house through a window. The burglar rifled through the drawers looking for valuables. She screamed when she saw the burglar in her house. Burglary. 窃盗. The crime of entering a building illegally with intent to commit theft. They installed an alarm system after the burglary. The suspects were arrested for attempted burglary. The burglary took place while they were on vacation. Burner.
燃烧器炉火
A device that produces a flame for heating or cooking. He turned off the burner when the soup was ready. She warmed her hands over the burner. The burner heated the room quickly. Bury.
埋葬掩埋
To place a corpse in the ground or a tomb. She buried herself in her work to forget the pain. The archaeologists buried the artifacts for future generations. They buried the time capsule in the schoolyard. Bush.
灌木丛，
A shrub or clump of shrubs with stems of moderate length. They set up camp in a clearing in the bush. They walked through the bush to reach the river. The bush was thick with thorns. Butcher.
屠夫，
A person who slaughters animals or dresses their flesh. The butcher cut the meat into steaks. They bought sausages from the butcher. The butcher displayed cuts of meat in the window. Thank you for your watching. Your subscription serves as our driving force to create more videos. See you next time.